Hello, people around the world. Good morning, good evening, good night. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hello, hi, how are you? This is Dr. Sanjay Kumar back once again with another charming personality, awesome personality. He is none other than he is the Abid Hussain from Islamabad. He is the Vice President at Jubilee General Insurance. Let's move to our guest to know more about you. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Hello, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, walaikum assalam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dr. Saab, once again, I am so much grateful to your good self that you had given me another chance to discuss with you regarding a very growing and very complex menace of smoke in Pakistan and regional countries. I am so much grateful that you had provided me a forum and you had given me an opportunity to discuss with you. I am very, admirer of your personality because you are also a very, renowned doctor and good social worker in your area. So I salute you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I am humble, honored, and privileged having you on my show. Thank you so much for being such a nice person, very cooperative person, so humble person. Sir, you gave time to talk about smoke, and sir, so my first question to you that can you tell in a very easy word, in simple words, so everyone can easily understand that what is smoke, sir?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Actually, we are seeing that after the industrialization and after the economic development, uh, humanity had.
Interrupt you,
Uh,
sir. Sorry
uh,
to interrupt you. Your voice is very low.
okay, okay, sir. Over the time, we had seen that due to industrialization and economic development, humanity had had received so much good convenience and facilities from that of development, but there is one negative thing also which economic development had brought to mankind, that is many type of pollutions, environmental degradation. uh, uh, in most recent some years, 15-20 years, in Pakistan and other countries of South Asia, one another aspect, another devastating and injurious form of environmental pollution has come against us. That is smoke. Smoke, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, in as you had said, in easy words for the general public, you can say it is when extreme type of polluted and toxic bearing smoke is added in the upper environment and lower environment, and before the advent of winter every year, it becomes very difficult for air to move that thick cloud, very dangerous cloud. That cloud, that shade, that toxic material which our air bears at that time, and due to decreasing temperature, it gets the shape of a smoke. Smoke is, you can say, is form of an air pollution which comes to us especially before the advent of winter, and it is found in poor countries, mostly like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and so on and so far, where there are not any standard operating procedures for the environment protection. It is very common in these countries, in particularly Pakistan and India. It is very common, and over some years, over, you can say, one decade, we had seen that it has surfaced before us as a very, I mean, difficult, crucial, and very, I mean, uncontrollable type of issue.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much for describing smoke in very simple and easy language, so everyone can easily understand. And sir, in this your conversation, you said that it is very common in Pakistan, especially Punjab and India. So, sir, why it is more common in Punjab and India? So, please,
Okay.
please
Okay.
discuss.
Okay, sir. Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Its main causes are linked with the, I mean, widespread brick kilns and, I mean, rampantly setting in fire the, I mean, crop residuals. Since these two things are relating to the cultivation and relating to the fertile areas, and Punjab, both in India and Pakistan, is 100% connected with the agriculture. So we had seen, and experts had seen, and many, I mean, professionals and environmentalists had seen that due to the uncontrolled and excessive burning of residuals of the crop, especially before the advent of winter every year in western Punjab in Pakistan and eastern Punjab in India, and during the meanwhile, when the old and outdated brick kilns throughout the both parts of Punjab, I mean, they multiply their toxic, unused, dangerous fuels to the air. Then in both Punjab, these two factors, I mean, create smoke. So we had seen that its main part and its main area where this smoke hit every year is Punjab, both Punjab, Pakistani Punjab and Indian Punjab. So that's why it is here, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You shared that why it is more common in Punjab, Pakistan, Punjab, and India, Punjab. Thank you so much, sir. My next question to you: what are the health hazards of smoke on human health? What are the health hazards? Yes, sir.
Smoke has, it brings so much hazards and risks and dangers for the human life every year. We had seen uh, during the peak days of smoke, breathing problems, I mean, flu problems, fever problems, and cough, and so on and so far, on medical sector, and on, I mean, other I mean, when the people use the road, we had seen that in smog, prime smog period, there so much, I mean, road accidents, sometimes very fatal accidents happen every year. And since the visibility becomes quite zero, and in, I mean, many cases we have seen that fog related visibility is not so much dangerous as the smog related invisibility is, I mean, that create more havoc with the human life every year. We had seen it is not, I mean, a good thing in any respect. It brings very negative effect on the human health, on the health of animals, on the crops, and on the road users. This is not a good thing, and it is very injurious and dangerous at the same time, sir.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much. As you discussed that due to smoke, there are certain health hazards like difficulty in breathing. There are liver problems. You also discuss that there are some social hazard like accident, etc., etc. Sir, my question to you: can you please discuss what are the social hazard due to smoke in details?
Sir, Doctor, Sahab, we will request to the respective governments, regulators, and the environmentalists and all those departments who are relating to the environment conservation. We, being environmentalists, always request them that they should teach our illiterate and poor farmers that they should not set on fire the residual of their crops while that in their fields. It brings so much toxic thick smoke to the air, and at the same time it burns the friendly worms and friendly plants of their fields also. Government should teach and should persuade these farmers that they should manually and physically bring that residuals in the soil through the plowing, and they should not, I mean, set that those residuals to fire. It should be regarded as a criminal case, and it so happens in Pakistan and India also. But even then, since area is very vast, both the parts of Punjab are very wide and very large, so every village can't be monitored and regulated and controlled. Even we had seen that even then farmers I mean set on fire their residuals without keeping in view the government restrictions, and consequently a lot of substances, very dangerous substances, very injurious substances, chemical emissions like sulfur dioxide, like nitrogen oxide, like carbon, like carbon monoxide. All these are blatantly, I mean, added in the environment, or then all the losses, environmental losses, which we see every year, and it is its momentum is on, I mean, ascending order. We had seen every year its intensity and its severity is increasing year by year. So I will request to the government and to the department that they should bring all the social aspects to control this menace at a social level, and they should also introduce restriction on administration level, and they should educate at the same time break cleanse owners in Punjab. I will say in Pakistani Punjab, because they are also situated in the rural areas. They use very outdated and very, I mean, poor type of method to bake their bricks. And they also, I mean, add thousands of tons of the sulfur and carbon and so on and so forth. Many, I mean, toxic and very dangerous substances in the air. And since the smoke of crop and the unburnt smoke of these kilns, when it I mean gathers in the environment, then the due to the low temperature it becomes very difficult for air to I mean to shift it from one place to other place. This happens in when the temperature falls before the advent of winter. Consequently, these two factors every year bring us a man-made crisis, that is smoke. This is our issue, and we should, I mean, work to counter it. This is my request.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful answer. The social impact of the smoke. Thank you so much for explaining in very detail. Thank you so much. Sir, my question to you, why it also occurs in developed countries? Why smoke also occurs in developed countries? Over to you, sir.
Doctor sir, we had never seen that smoke. I mean, it happens. It can be found throughout the globe, throughout the world, but its intensity is very. I mean, not so much rampant and so much severe in all other countries. It is. We had seen, and the data is there that it is found in South Asia, poor countries, some African countries, and sometime in China, near where I mean. Their industrial hubs, near the industrial hubs, and not in the whole China. You can say all the countries who adhere good SOPs for the environment protection and environment conservation, smog is very lesser type of smog can be managed, but in Pakistan and India particularly, we had seen that its intensity and its severity is very, I mean, excessive, very uncontrollable, and you would have seen that on the, I mean, data of air quality control, which is disseminated daily throughout the world, almost daily throughout the world. I had always seen five cities of subcontinent there on the top of list. Those are Bombay, Kolkata, Delhi, Lahore, and Karachi. No, very rarely it becomes that any other city of like Dhaka or like Beijing or some other regional cities, very rarely they come on the top of the table. Otherwise, the race is between only five cities, which are Kolkata, Delhi, Bombay, Karachi, and Lahore. What that means? It, Dr. Saab, clearly means that our environmental protection and conservation standard operating procedures are very weak, and those are not implemented in the letter and separate, and violation is very excessive, and so we are seeing that our environment condition is not good there, and in comparison of other developed countries, we are I mean, we are producing a lot of more dangerous smoke than those countries. Maybe it would have been found there. You are very right, sir. But in those cities, those advanced European and American and other industrialized cities also, its intensity is not comparable like with India and Pakistan, because they had forbidden their industrialists through very strict rules and regulation, that all the emissions, air emissions and solid waste should be added to the environment after treating that. When that emission is treated, which is not happened in Pakistan and India, if that treatment is treated, and after treatment that emission is added into the environment, so their I mean loss extent is not so much dangerous as we do.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. Brilliantly answer that why it occurs in the developed countries. Sir, my question to you that uh, what role should be particularly an individual play in controlling their smoke?
Okay, very good question, Doctor Sir. Everyone, either he is farmer or not, either he is brick kiln owner or not, he should, use each and every forum on every village level that smoke emission to the air should be curtailed every year, and we should bring it to, zero or maximum possible lower level. So what we should do, we should, plant trees. Being a common man, we should plant maximum trees every place which is not occupied by anything till now should be planted, should be covered with the trees. Number one. Number two, we should, young people, students, women, ladies, lawyers, doctors, social workers, every people should work hand in hand with our farmers, and we should tell them that that they should, treat their residuals of crops in organic way. They should not take this dangerous step to burn that out. It will be very dangerous for their children, for their family, even for their life, and at the same time for the mankind of the widespread area. Maybe 100 square kilometer people will be suffered if you burn residuals of your crops of, let's suppose, 5 acres today. Maybe you will create a problem for the mankind, for the population of one whole district. Should, so we should, teach the teacher. Teachers are normally poor. They are not so much established community. They had not any union, but they are very, sane people, very, cooperative people. I do have my background from a small village, which is some 20 kilometers east, north of Khanewal district. We had seen, if you tell on social ground to your farmers, I had done this. They will work hard. They will do some extra work. They will consume some money, but they will not burn their residuals of crops. This should be widespread for the province level, and same this formula should be adopted by the students, by the social workers, by the lawyers, by the women, everyone, for the brick kiln owners. They should also be taught that, and requested that they should move to some advanced type of technology, which is blow technology. In that sorry, in that technology, the smoke which is emitted in the air through their chimneys is, not left in the air while that is unburnt. No, when the smoke will be fully burnt, that will have very lesser amount of toxic materials and pollutants and the substances which are which creates smoke later on, that can be curtailed through the, if their technology is modern, their technology is advanced, that is not so much costly. And I had seen there is some machines also, available for the kilns. Through that thick, dark and black cloud is treated through those machines, and then that smoke is emitted in the air. So that will also surely bring some lower chances for the environmental degradation and for the creation of smoke. These two segments of the society should be taught and should be trained and should be morally persuaded that they should not, use their techniques which I had discussed, and which consequently creates clouds of smoke in the air, and brings problem for the government, for the people, and for the country.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful and detailed answer that what an individual should play a role in controlling the smog. Sir, my question to you, what should be government role to control the smog? Smog.
Uh, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, it has been slightly, had been discussed. You are a good professional, and you have very deep knowledge of social work. Government should, on one hand, persuade the people, persuade the population, persuade all those segment of the population who create smoke. Government should, on first part should be the moral persuasion. If some people even then don't obey the government instruction, then they should be treated sternly, strictly. They should be, they should be brought to the book. There should be police action against them, and they should be fined heavily. It so happens in other countries, and why not it can be adopted in Pakistan? If you or me spoil the widespread environment, then we are criminals. We should not be treated with the respect. We should be treated with some strictness and sternness, and there should be exemplary punishment for us if we are degrading and damaging our if we are degrading our environmental balance, and damaging our air and water, and air is main common thing, and it is asset of a planet. It should segment of the society. So it is very simple that respective governments, provincial governments, district governments, local governments, and federal governments should introduce very strict rules to counter it, and all the criminal people who are found guilty of polluting the air and the environment should be treated strictly, sir.
Thank you so much for such a comprehensive talk on the smoke. Thank you so much once again, sir. Thank you so much for coming to my show, sharing such a comprehensive talk on the smoke. Sir, my final request to you, give a word of wisdom. What is your word of wisdom? Word of day.
Okay. Dr. Sanjay, we should, always work for the peace and for the intercommunal, intersect, interreligion, and interfaith, love and harmony. This is a message of Islam, and this is probably message of all the major religion like Christianity and like Hinduism, like other religions also. So I will say the same words again, that we should, work all the time on our individual level, on our group level, on our family level, and on our community level for the love and for the harmony, and we should always respect for the mankind.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful, for such a amazing, such a beautiful words. Thank you so much. Viewers, in this live show, we have Abid Hussain. He discussed comprehensive discussion on the Samo. In next live show, we came with another great personality. We'll learn more new things. Till that, stay happy, be happy. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Dr. Saab, thank you so very much, Dr. Saab. Stay blessed, Ji. Thank you, Dr. Saab.